Welcome back.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
I'm Cyndi.
And I am Paige.
And we are your hosts of Mom's the Word, where Mom knows best.
Or at least she is trying her best.
And today, we have a
very special guest. A very special guest.
Say hi.
Hi. To Glammaw.
Woo.
Or as we know her, Jessica.
Yes.
Do you like us to call you Jessica or
Glammaw?
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I love
Jessica.
Glammaw. Like, I think it's so cute.
I'm so certain my accent is going to get worse and worse as I sit here and talk to you because whenever I'm around my family, my accent gets very thick and you have a very thick country accent. So if I'm talking like this by the end of this episode,
They're really going to think it's
I don't want to
fake.
hear any shit.
It's going to be, hello, my name's Paige. That was so
I
funny.
should literally just stay British the entire time, the whole time.
Her real accent.
Yeah, that's my real
Peppa
accent.
Pig
I
who?
actually talk like this whenever we're off camera.
Actually, last night at dinner, I also noticed that like you had more of a southern drawl because of her, and you do it too around like your family, of course. But that's so funny. You bring it out of her.
Yeah.
Do I really sound like that?
In the most country,
Play that back for you.
in the most country accent.
Do I really sound like that? Is what she just said.
Yes,
no,
you do.
In your offense, you're from Alabama.
Yeah.
Sweet home Alabama. Born and raised?
Yep.
What's that like? Because I've only ever been in Texas. Does it feel different?
Well, it feels like
Paige.
Alabama.
What does
in
that
Texas,
feel like?
We are very like, we love bluebonnets. We go to the lake. We go, like there's
We
just
know
certain
about
things.
Alabama. Roll Tide.
Texans, right. The only, look, you're the one that's got a fake fucking accent.
And I do. Go ahead,
The only
commentate.
thing I know about Alabama is Sweet Home Alabama. Y'all have, what's it, like the Alabama shore up there? Orange Beach?
Yes.
And then
Gulf Shores.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. So, I mean, is
What's
that
the
really
thing? What's the thing you do? This is not the Longhorns. What do y'all do for Roll Tide?
Roll Tide.
that's all you say?
They say Rammer Jammer.
the tide.
Oh,
How
Rammer
does it go?
Jammer.
Rammer Jammer, Alabama. Give them, Alabama.
I love it. She is so funny. What's it like over there?
Well, I mean, is it different?
I learned a lot about Glammaw yesterday in that she's really never traveled.
Ever.
First time to Texas, so she only knows Alabama, Paige.
Yep, that's all I know. And this is like
Big city.
nothing I ain't never seen before.
She tried to
There's
go into
roads
Dallas.
on top of roads,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're all going this way, and there's one-way roads.
Oh, they're wild.
And then we was in the elevator at the parking deck last night, and this lady was complimenting me, and I was telling her thank you, and she was asking me questions, and I said, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And she turned around and looked at me, and she said, you don't call me ma'am. We don't say ma'am. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. And she said, I mean, she was elder, and but I always say yes, ma'am.
she
That's
from here?
what we
'Cause I
do.
feel like we
no,
do.
where
We
I
do
can't remember where
say
she
it.
said she was from, but it's not here.
Yeah,
It's
because I was
up
going to say,
north.
because
Yeah.
even when
Somewhere.
my kids were little, I would say, like, they would say yes. I'm like, no, yes, ma'am. And they do it to, like, their teachers and stuff like that. So we do that here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do.
We
She was
do.
not from Texas. I know that. It's somewhere up north.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, we definitely are very respectable. Like,
Anytime I've gone up north, though, they don't say like thank you or please or really anything. Like they're just very blunt. They get like to their stuff, and that's not to say everybody. It's just experiences that I've had.
no, I think so. I'm from
very
California,
different.
and they don't.
Really?
Nobody says that there. When I came here 8 years ago, it was like a culture shock. People are way more just like respectful, and not that they're not in California. It's just like they're very like thank you, please, yes, ma'am, no, sir. A little bit different than there. We don't do that there.
Everybody's in your business here is what I actually think that it comes down to. I think they just say like, oh, how are you doing today, ma'am? Because they just want to know your business. Where in California, they don't say it because they don't give a shit.
No, they literally don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's probably the difference. But that's funny.
They're asking about you because they want to talk about you later.
That's the truth. That is the truth. most Southern women are a gossip. I know I am.
They're going
I'm
to
not
come for
gonna
you.
deny
I know
it.
I am too. I'm not even a Southern woman. I'm a fake one. But I'm going to say I also like to be nosy. Anyways, we're so happy that you're here.
I'm happy.
Speaking of nosy,
Yeah.
we want to know all about you.
Yeah. Take us back because your children are older, right?
Some of them.
Yes. Can you give it to us?
So Jesslyn, she is 23,
Okay.
and Hannah's 21, and Summer is 7.
Okay.
Big jump.
We both have 7-year-olds.
Much different this go around.
Right. All
Yeah.
three of them are different, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Different children.
So you've parented differently though.
Yes.
So how old are you when you first started having kids?
21. I was 21 when I had Jesslyn, and 2 years later I had Hannah, so I was 23, I guess. And then Summer, we got her when she was 3. So
Mm-hmm.
we've had her for 4 years. It's way different.
So you say you got her when she was 3.
We adopted her.
You did adopt. Okay. So through foster care? Wow. I did not even know that about you. Some adoptive mamas over here.
Yeah, I think we have had 9 foster children.
Wonderful.
We do not foster anymore.
Right.
But you used to.
Yes.
Nice.
And we're still licensed in the state of Alabama, but we've put it on hold.
Yeah.
Because our lives are so busy now.
Understand.
I don't have the time to put in that it takes,
Yes, it does.
And so,
So how long did you guys foster for?
about 2 years maybe.
And you got your baby girl.
It is very hard to foster children.
Who have their own trauma.
Yes.
You have your own trauma that you have to
Yes.
overcome.
Yes.
And raising kids is hard while you're
Yes.
struggling with your own trauma.
Yes.
I understand that for sure.
Right.
What made you decide, okay, I'm ready, I can do it?
I seen her face.
Yeah.
Aw.
But not just that. I had lost my mama, and my girls had grown up, and they were driving, graduating high school. One moved to Nashville. The other one was about to graduate, and I knew she would be leaving, and I was alone,
Yeah.
and I needed her.
You were ready to take care of some babies. I understand.
That's all I've ever done is
Yeah.
took care of people,
Yeah.
except myself.
Yeah.
I always took care of everybody else.
I feel like that's kind of like the season of life that me and Paige are in. Being young moms, like we take care of everybody else except for ourselves. And so you've already raised 2 children that are older, and now raising a 7-year-old, it has to be a little bit different, right? You see a different perspective. Even though you still have your own traumas, like we're in the mix of this where it's like everybody's ahead of me. Like all the children that I foster, I put before me their lives, all of my children, my husband. And so we're struggling through that right now, and hopefully we're going to come out on top of it. But do you still struggle with that, you think? Like starting over, kind of?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's different because when I was raising my kids, I was a stay-at-home mom. And I did a couple of things in our hometown when I had to help make ends meet, but I never had a career. When my kids started growing up and after my mama had passed, I just was there. He worked all the time, and I was just there, and I had to do something to get out of the house.
Yeah.
And that's when I started working in Hoover, Alabama. And it wasn't long after that till summer came along. And but it's so different now because I did work a full-time job. And now I still work a bunch of full-time jobs,
Yeah.
And so I didn't do that with my other children. And I feel like a lot of times that maybe she doesn't get the attention that she deserves because I'm so busy. But then I feel like all my time goes to her. So it's hard to juggle.
It's mom
That's
guilt.
normal
Yeah,
mom
it's literally
guilt.
mom guilt.
Yeah.
We
That's
could-
like you could strap
As soon as you
yourself
said
as
it.
thin as possible, and you're just doing everything that you can. And you will still be like, "Did I do
Did
enough?"
I do enough?
That
Yeah.
means you're a good mama.
It does.
Yeah,
Yes.
in every way.
And I never want her to feel like she's not my daughter.
Yeah.
I never want her to feel less than Jesslyn and Hannah because she's just as much my daughter as they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that when you foster and when you adopt, that if you cannot feel that toward that child that you're bringing in your home, then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Absolutely.
Because that child deserves that kind of love.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what a different love would be.
I don't either.
So like my son Fox we've adopted, there's not an ounce of me like that I even would think that he's not a part of me. Like it's a weird thing that he is all of me. And like nobody would know the difference, and then they never will. And Jay, he's adopted 5 kids, and the same thing. You would never know, and that's how it's supposed to be. And I agree with you because there's, sometimes you foster and you hear families say like, I don't make a connection with this child, and that's okay, right? You're still loving them, you're still giving it. You never want to move towards adoption if you can't make that full connection because they deserve that.
That's right.
They deserve 100% of your
And
love.
someone will give it to them.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel the same way about my stepkids, and I think for other step parents as well.
Yeah.
Is like when you're around me and my children, you don't know that my 2 bonus sons are my bonus sons.
Right.
And I would never call them that. Like, a lot of people tend to get offended that I just call them my kids. And they're like, well, they're not your kids. Well, they are.
They
my
are
children.
in every way that matters.
Yeah, they're mine. And how would it make them feel is what I try to think about. How would they feel if I introduced them and I was like, oh, yeah, this is my son and this is my daughter and these are my stepsons. To just draw a division like that would be weird. So I'm sure that you feel the same way whenever you're like, this is my adopted child.
Yeah, I don't do that.
No,
I don't like other people referring to her as my adopted child.
I don't
She's
even
my
say
daughter.
it ever until like people, of course, when I talk about circumstances, they know he's adopted, especially because I just adopted, but never. These are just my children. And even my, children I foster, these are my babies. If I meet you and you don't know that I'm a foster parent, these are my babies.
Right.
Because they deserve that respect. Their parents also deserve that. They don't want their business out there.
Right.
Like, this is my foster daughter and these are my kids. That's not okay. And so I am a firm believer at giving 100% to all of these children. No one will ever know the difference.
Absolutely.
And one of our biggest things is Summer is a biracial child. And we get a lot of, well, we know she's not your child. Well, how do you know?
Right.
She's my child in every way that matters. When she loses her tooth, who's there? When she scrapes her arms, who's there? When she needs loving and cuddled, who's there?
Your mama.
I'm mama in every way that matters.
That's right.
Who makes sure that she has everything she needs? We do.
I love all babies. Give them all. Come on.
They're precious.
I know. And people ask me, like, how do you keep doing it, keep coming back? And it's because I just have it. And I don't know how to explain that, but like my love for kids is more than like saying no. Like, I would hate for them to go somewhere when I know that I could handle, loving on these babies. Like, I just have so much to give. And I am struggling sometimes with the trauma of children leaving. And not that it's bad. I'm proud of their parents. But for me, it's a loss, right? Like, every single time I'm losing a child. And it's beautiful, but it's traumatic.
Yes.
And I keep saying yes, right? And so I think people don't see that. And if you're going to go into fostering, please be ready for that.
Yes.
Because it's hard. But that's great. So you have 3 children, and you and your husband have married quite a while, right? How many years?
May the 16th will be 26 years we've been married.
That's so incredible.
That's amazing.
That's so incredible. And you can, like, we went to dinner with them last night. You can, the love between the two of them is palpable. You can feel it just hanging around
And
them.
he's so fun, you guys.
Oh, he's
So-
hilarious. I'm pretty sure him and Mark are just best friends now.
Literally. We had to put them at the end of the table so they could all talk to each
They
other.
were screaming over everybody just so that they could have a conversation together.
And it's so great when like our husbands can do that,
Yeah.
Oh, so Paige wants to pop off on you.
A little bit. Not gonna pop off in a bad. But you know what? Maybe we'll hold it for a second because I want to talk about
So y'all
your
wait.
journey, right? So you have been very open online that you've not
Yes.
always made the most responsible decisions
That's
in
right.
life. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
What you want to hear?
I want to hear anything you're willing to
So
tell me.
I would like to just ask as like somebody who wouldn't know, right? So I know that you have struggled with addiction.
Yes.
What did that look like and how old were you?
I was young
Did you have kids?
before.
Before kids. Okay. Because I was just curious because like you're sober and now you have a 7-year-old, how that dynamic is different because you're not struggling with that. But I know you're always going to struggle with it, but has it looked different over the years?
I don't struggle.
Oh, that's amazing.
Not at all. I don't struggle. When I was young, so when I was 8, that is when, and the past couple of years that I've been working on myself, healing my food addiction, and we'll get to that, but is when I have really, you have to work through your trauma and find the root of the problem.
Yeah.
And when I was 8 years old, my mom and daddy got a divorce, and that was when it all began.
Yeah.
Childhood trauma. We come to this so much.
It was a terrible divorce. Before they divorced, my daddy he cheated on my mama with her best friend. And I was the one that caught it. And I didn't know what was going on because I was
Young to
8 years
even
old.
understand that, yeah.
And I didn't know why my daddy and my mama's best friend was sitting at the table and they were playing footsies and they were making homemade biscuits in the dough, kneading it together. His hands were on her hands. And mama was still in bed. And I went in there, Mama. And I'm not going to say her name. But I said, why are they doing that? They're doing it. And I felt like it was my fault.
Right,
That
because then your
they
parents
divorced. My daddy would beat my mama, and it was a terrible divorce.
Yeah.
And my daddy had a daughter already when he got with my mama, but I didn't know that. We always just thought she was my sister.
Right.
And so when my daddy seen that my mama wasn't going to take him back, he took her. He never did allow my mama to adopt her. And that killed me.
I bet.
Go from having a sister to not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I had another sister, my sister Katie, that the social media knows. She was a year old when all this happened. And but yes, that it was just very traumatic for her
Yeah.
and for me.
Yeah. So that's what, like, people don't realize, even though you were so little, because they'll be like, oh, they're little, they're not going to remember this. No, they're going to remember.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
They're going to know your feelings, how you felt, like how the energy changes. Kids know.
Yeah.
I remember, and I can remember we had to move into the housing projects, me and my mama and Mandy. And my mama she quit school when she was 17 years old because she got pregnant with me. She had no education. She couldn't go to work because she didn't have a vehicle, and she didn't have money to pay for child care, even if she could get to work. And we lived on food stamps and welfare, and I remember it was never enough to make it. My daddy wouldn't help my mom, and he had a good job, and he could have helped her, but he would tell us that his power would get cut off because he had to pay child support. All the while, we knew he wouldn't pay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and, well, there wasn't enough food, and I can remember hoarding food. I can remember one time, and I wouldn't touch a cold weenie now. I think I'd rather starve, but I can remember taking a whole pack of weenies to my bedroom and eating a whole pack because I didn't know when I was going to get food again.
Right.
And then, throughout all of this, I realized that was the beginning of my problem.
Yeah.
It's always being afraid there wasn't ever going to be enough.
Yeah. It's lifelong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that transform as you got older? Did it turn into anything else?
Drugs, men, drugs, anything to make me feel good because I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
I hated myself. I hated my life. I
Trying
was
to
always
fill.
made fun of because we didn't have, and everybody knew we didn't have, and I was fat. And that's not fun growing up like that.
Right.
That can be traumatic.
So ever since 8,
Because kids are mean.
and kids are mean.
Kids are mean.
Yes. And then, it's crazy how that stemmed to now.
I'm so sorry you went through that.
Yeah.
Genuinely. I don't like to see you cry.
I know.
It's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to hear, and I never know what to say because I see kids like that every day. I hear the stories every day. Like food hoarding is huge. Like that's so sad. And then, having weight issues is huge, and it all relates sometimes to childhood.
And that gives another little subject that I would love to
Yes.
talk about. Summer. I don't share Summer's story, and I'm not going to share Summer's story, but she does have eating issues. She doesn't want to eat. And that causes a lot of trouble. Not really trouble, but she rarely ever will eat what we eat. And she's so stubborn and hard-headed that if you don't let her eat what she wants to eat, she's not going to eat. So we do not make her eat what we eat.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when we're eating, people don't see her eating what we eat, but it's because I want her to have a good relationship with food.
Right.
I don't want her to have, which her issue would be, she'd starve herself.
Right.
I don't want her to do that. So if she'd rather have a pack of ramen noodles than eat what we're eating, as
You're
long
gonna
as
do it.
she's eating, eat.
Yeah.
My
As
mom
long as her
always
belly's
tells me.
full.
My mom tells me a story because my mom was an RN and she had gone to work one day just crying, and one of the doctors was like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" And she said, "All my kids ate today were frozen waffles," and he said, "So your kids ate today?" Because that's what it actually is. Because you're doing your very best, and sometimes your kid just wants to eat a frozen waffle all day long, but at least you're feeding them. Right?
Yeah. Especially for you having food trauma.
Yeah.
Is now you're trying to change that, and you see it in her at a young age, and so that's got to be hard for you. Although it's opposite, it's still hard. So you're like, no, my baby's gonna eat no matter what,
Right.
and so that's got to be so hard. But
And her
think
trauma is not your fault,
no,
but you're fixing it.
yeah,
One step at a time, one bowl of ramen noodles.
she
at a time.
knows. Yeah, she knows. My mom's gonna feed me what I
Yep.
need to eat. Yeah, and whoever else cares, bye.
So you
And
struggled.
I hate ramen noodles.
Oh yeah, they're not great. They used to be as a kid. They used to be delicious, but yeah, I agree. They're not great as an adult.
Okay, I like
So
them.
you used to. I do like the cup of noodles.
I
the one
love
with
me a
like the
good
veggies
top
in it.
ramen.
Those are better.
My girls love ramen noodles, all three of them.
I love them. I get the pack of the like creamy ones. Ooh.
The carbonara buldak noodles that are going super
Oh,
viral
yes.
now are so disgusting to me.
Really?
They're so
I haven't had them. I haven't had
nasty.
them.
They just taste like cheese
They look hot.
noodles. Yeah, they are spicy. Yeah, they are for sure, but not my jam.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting off on random subjects. So you dealt with that as a younger child, and then it turned to drugs, and then
I think I was about probably 13 or 14 years old when I started using drugs.
Because you were looking for something that made you feel good. Mm-hmm. And your parents, were they not active, or was it something that you just hid?
I hid it. To begin with, I hid it.
and then you met Michael. I'm assuming pretty young.
Yes, we were young. And I couldn't convince him that he loved me.
Well, he's here now.
Seems like he does.
But now I couldn't run him away with a stick.
I believe that. I believe that.
For lifer.
You say a lot, and this is what I'm gonna when I say I wanted to talk to you about something. You talk a lot about, like I made bad decisions and I did things that I'm not proud of. And one time you referred to yourself, you said, I know I'm a piece of shit. I know I'm trash. And I dislike that you'd say that about yourself so
Yes.
greatly, because you are not defined by the mistakes that you made. You were self-aware enough to know that they were mistakes, and you learned that lesson from them. So to hear you talk about yourself as if that's who you are now, and as if you're defined by your mistakes, makes me sad for you, because you're so much more than that. And you tell people every day how much more they are than their mistakes. You have
But you don't preach it to yourself.
right. You don't.
You're right. And I'm trying to. I'm trying to. But I don't see in me what other people see in me. I still see her.
I think that's because you know the darkest version of yourself, the most pain-filled version of yourself. And it takes a lot to get out of that mindset of this is just the way it's always going to be, whenever you were raised to believe this is just how it's always going to be. When you spend your child years trying to fill a hole that was placed by somebody else and trying to understand, why am I not good enough? Why do I need to go through these things? And you watch everybody else not. It makes you believe that you are less, and like you're for the rest of your life. That's just the hand that you were dealt, and like I'm just going to have less because that's my purpose here. And I don't think that that's your purpose one single bit. I think you spread a lot more joy than you realize, because you'll just come on with their little sharp ass knife, just cutting a potato or
these
something.
zucchinis, and I'm just like, I said, who is this lady?
Talking, just frying up, okra or something, and it's adorable and it's
That's
sweet.
who I am.
It's endearing.
I've always just cooked and fed people.
Yeah, it's a
know.
very Southern woman thing, and I also think that you have a great relationship with God. I think you're very confident in your religion, and I think that for someone who is so confident in her religion, you have to know that you're forgiven for the things that you went through and the mistakes that you made, and that the only person at the end of the day that you feel can judge you, and that's between you and God.
It's true. I know He's forgiven me, and I know that the sufferings that I've had, I know that He has changed my life, and I know it's all Him, and He is the best thing that has ever happened to me. And I know that everything that I've been through was to get me to where I am now.
Yeah.
And that's hard. When my mama died, I thought that He hated me. And I had been saved, and I had a great relationship with Him, and I was probably a much better person then than now. But that
I don't believe that.
crushed me, because I thought that He took my mama
Right.
to hurt me.
But we see such a joy in you.
Yeah.
And what you're just like give to the internet is just an amazing thing. And I know that at nighttime, those silent struggles will always creep in. They always do for all of us. But it's waking up every day and choosing to not believe them, because they're not true. They're lying to you.
Yeah.
That voice is lying to you. You have so much to give and so much light. This world is ready for it.
Yeah, and we're our biggest critics. Like, we are the hardest on ourselves.
We are. Yes.
But you have to remember that you have done so much to overcome what you were put through as a child. And none of that, when you were a child, was your fault. It doesn't mean that that has to be how you are forever, or how you feel forever. You were handed a really crappy childhood.
Yep.
And that sucks. And I'm so sorry for that. And I wish that we could save every single child. I think that you were dealt a shitty hand as a child, and that's not your fault. And I think that you have carried the weight of what happened as if it was your own burden to carry around and fix. And you've spent your whole life thinking, I blew up my world by telling on my dad, and this is going to be my punishment forever. And then as soon as things get better, he's going to take my mama and remind me, this is my punishment forever. And that's just not true. That's just life. Yeah. These things happen, and unfortunately, we don't live in Disney movies.
No, we do not.
Yeah, and maybe we do, because most of them, like, they lose their children and somebody's got to come and save them or something. You're like Rapunzel style. But, some of those Disney movies are a little crazy. But you live a real life that had real trauma that real people relate to. And that's why so many people see a light within you, because a lot of people are going through that feeling of, this is all my fault. And they see somebody like you who went through something hard and is still a positive person, who still has an optimistic outlook on life.
Yeah.
And they think to themselves, how do I get to that space to where I can forgive myself for something that was never my fault?
Yep.
Because that's what you ultimately have to do, is say, you know what? This wasn't on me. And sure, maybe I was a part of it because I was a child, but it was never my responsibility as a child to protect somebody from their own shitty actions.
That's right.
You know? So I hate to see you beat up on yourself, and encourage others to do it, because that's what that truly does. Whenever you say, like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit, the trolls that just feed off of that are just like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
They do not let you forget who you once were.
Right. No, and you're not defined at all by your past. I loved, was it the CMA's Jelly Roll? Brought us to church.
Yes,
he
did.
He said, there's something poetic about a 39-year-old man standing up here winning New Artist of the Year. And he says, if you're going through a hard time, I want to tell you to keep going. I want to tell you that there's light on the other side, because there genuinely is. That is the one thing that's great about this life that we're living, is every day you get to wake up and decide, can I change this circumstance that I'm under and make myself feel better?
That's what I say. Every day is a new day to start over and be better.
Yeah.
You can either waller in it or you can get up and you can do something about
That's
it.
right.
Because we're all going to go through shit.
We are.
It's always going to be hard. Something's going to happen.
Yep.
People are going to get hurt. Things are going to happen to you. There's no way. It's inevitable. Life happens all around you.
And I think people get mad too that you don't hide from it.
Yeah.
Like, you're unapologetic about it. Yeah, I had this shitty past. You know what I mean? Like, but you're not hiding from it. And then they want to use it against you
Yes.
because of that.
Yes, that's
okay.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, use it against me. I already told you what it is. You can't find nothing else out about me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I try to be as open and honest. I share so much of our life. Probably I shouldn't share a lot of it, but I do, because that's who we are.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ever be fake.
No, and somebody relates to it.
I don't want somebody to love me because I'm
No.
pretending to be somebody
Yes.
behind the camera.
Yes.
I want you to see exactly who I am.
Right.
That's right. And someone wants that and loves that. And I've seen your audience who adore that, and we're grateful for it.
I love all my friends. I truly
know.
do. I can't wait to share things with them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Somebody
exciting.
will be like, what are you doing? I got to tell my friends.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize, like, we, all of us creators, genuinely love like that excitement of sharing with all of our followers and our friends on the internet. And it's just like a natural thing that comes to us. Like,
Yes.
I don't know how many times me and Paige have talked about how grateful that we are that
Yeah.
this is what we're doing. Like, I will cry to Chris about it. Literally tears that, oh my God, like, people want to listen to me.
I do too.
It's just the coolest thing
People
on the
wanna show
planet.
up. Yeah.
And it started genuinely as just social media.
Yeah.
Like I would be sharing on my Instagram stories for all those years. I just started doing it on TikTok.
Yep.
And then I found this whole community of people who think like me and like the same things as me and enjoy
been
the same things
amazing.
as me. And they give me such support that it's It's so incredible. So I can understand how when people come into that safe space of understanding and they disagree with you and say something hateful to you, how it could be like, oh, whoa, like I'm not putting this out there to upset anybody.
Yes.
Right.
I'm putting this out there to find my people. So, and I think we were all raised a little Southern in the sense of like, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all.
Because I think you bring comfort to people. And I think if people really looked at you and your, what you give out, you are comfortable. Like, I know if I showed up at your house, there's going to be a plate at the table for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know your husband's going to make me laugh.
That's
I know your
right.
baby's going to be running around with mine. Like, that's just how it feels. And all the other stuff don't matter.
Yeah.
It's how are you going to treat me today and how, like, what you give out. And I just love the positivity. Now, something I'm very, like, proud of you and jealous of you is that you're very open about your weight loss journey. Yes. I do not share on the internet anything about weight loss or whatnot. That's my own struggles. But you do. And I know people are rude to you about it. And all creators that share weight loss. And so I know you've carried that trauma your whole life. You said started as a child and you are now still working through it. Has that been terrifying or do you feel like it's been freeing? Because
Has sharing my weight loss journey been freeing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It, as I'm finding out about myself, I'm sharing it. And as I'm sharing, I'm finding out about myself. I don't know what to do. Obviously, if I knew what to do, I'd have never been at 525 pounds, you know. And I've never hid the fact that I take Mounjaro. And I was not a diabetic when I started sharing I didn't even mean to start TikTok. It was an accident that it even happened. But I was not a diabetic. It was soon after that I found out I was diabetic. That's how I was introduced to the Mounjaro, and it changed my life. Yes. But that doesn't mean that you're just going to drop weight just because you take a shot.
Right. You should change your lifestyle as well.
Yes.
And I don't follow a diet plan. I don't follow anything in particular except I try to stay under 1,500 calories a day.
Yeah.
And I have never said that I do every day. Most every day I do.
Right.
Stay at or below 1,500 calories. And I share because I want to let people know that you can lose weight and you can have a healthy life eating normal things. You don't have to be afraid of food because I've always said I ain't never going to tell you I can't eat bread or a piece of cake because I cannot sustain that.
It's not realistic.
And I like cake.
Yeah.
No, it's not realistic.
If it's not realistic, then it's not going to last.
Yeah. I'm in awe with you sharing it because it's something that I also struggle with, but I don't touch on it because I have PCOS and there's all types of things, that we struggle with silently.
Yes.
And losing weight, like if you were to share something and then someone thinks like you sees you eating bread, you're like, well, they fell off their this and this, and it just hurts you a lot more. When instead I'll just do it in silence, you know what I mean? And so like for me to watch you do it has been really great.
Well,
I'm like, I want to get one of them little loopy thingies.
Oh, we love the loop.
And so,
the infinity hoop.
Yes, and it's very inspiring. Thank you, Paige. Because there's a lot of us out there who relate to you in different ways. So somebody might be there for your cooking, for your, your trauma you've been through. And for me, it's that like you just share your life so openly, and I appreciate that because I'm also a fan.
Well, thank you. And people think that just because you're on social media and you're sharing and they see that you're doing good, they think, oh, they just got it made. They're getting everything handed to them. Absolutely not. They don't see the houses we had that went into foreclosure, the repossessions we've had, the power being turned off. They don't see all of that that got us to where we are today.
Right.
They don't see the hard work that we put behind the camera. They think everything's just handed to you, and that's not so.
Do I think we're lucky? Absolutely.
Absolutely, we're blessed.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I've cried about it, but we do put in the work. I put so much into my content and my, what I put into this world. I will stress about like, oh my God, I want to talk about this with them. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily hard because for me, I'm just like pick up the camera and go.
Me too.
But I just feel fortunate. But I am working hard to try to put good things into the world because I am not a negative creator.
No.
If someone comments on my stuff, it is blocked. You are blocked. Even if I see like someone comment on Paige something to me, I'm like, oh, they're blocked too. I'm gonna look like, do they follow me?
She's blocking you.
Yeah, because I'm like, that means you have some meanness somewhere in you, and I'm not about that life. So if you're commenting on somebody else's, I gotta check. Are they following me? Because I'm scared. Please don't comment on mine.
She'll send me somebody to block. She'll be
like,
like, hey, this person was rude. Block them.
Yeah, because they say just things that are uncalled for.
Yes.
And I don't even need that. Even if it's a little bit, I think you're being a little bit rude. I'm protecting my peace. I'm sorry. And I always tell people that, like, block words you don't want. Do not deal with it. And that's kind of me. Like, I try to put it into Paige and everybody else and Jay. Like, don't feed into that.
No, we got the block button on speed dial.
Yes, but we love all of our followers.
I've worked too hard to get this peace in my heart.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And nobody's going to take it. The world didn't give it to me, and they can't take it away.
That's right. That's
So
right.
tell me this, if you had, because obviously we have a lot of moms that listen in, and you are in a stage of motherhood, but also you've completed two, I mean, you've got two grown babies. Do you have any differences in how you raise Summer that you learned from raising the two older girls?
Yes. I was so hard on Jessalyn and Hannah. I was very hard on them because we were learning our ways. You know, we were still drug addicts when we had our kids. I didn't use drugs when I was pregnant. Let me clarify that. And the beginning of their lives, you know, it was that way.
Right.
And I am ashamed to say it, but I mean, it's no secret. But my kids, we grew up with our kids.
Yeah.
We changed our life with our kids. They lived, they saw, they know everything. There's no secrets. And I always pushed my kids to work hard, to not do drugs, and to be better than they're raising, be better than us. You know, I did not want them. My goal was for them, and I pushed them to go to college and do the things, you know, and that's not my goal anymore. My goal with my children is to know Jesus and make heaven your home and live a good life. You know, I want them to be good parents. I don't want them to be drug addicts. I don't want them to, I don't know if I can say this, live off the system and be moochers. I want them to get up and go to work and, you know, I want them to be good
people.
law-abiding citizens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was so hard on them, you know, and I don't want to be that way with Summer, but I still want her to be somebody. I want my kids to be somebody.
You just don't want the pressure to be so much on them that you have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be this, to the point that they're like, forget it.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I'm not going to be good enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. So something we always ask mamas on our podcast is if you could give advice to the mamas right now, us and all the young mamas, what is a piece of advice that you would give?
If you were talking to yourself in your first year of motherhood, knowing all that you know now.
I would say let the dishes go, let the laundry go, and love them babies. Don't worry about your house because it'll still be there, and they will be gone just like that.
Yeah.
And that is hard.
That's what I'm afraid of. My heart just dropped because it just goes.
That is
so
hard.
quickly.
When Jessalyn left home, she moved to Nashville, which is about 3.5 hours from us. And although that's not that far, it could have been much worse.
That's far.
I
when you're
thought I
not
would
down the
die.
road, yeah.
Yeah, I think about that time in my life, and I'm afraid of that time because
Well, it's terrible.
me and Paige both are very much on top of our children, helicopter mamas.
Me too.
And I'm trying really hard not to be now that I have a 7-year-old, but I can't even imagine letting my babies just go. Like I can't even, when they go to my mom's, I'm still nervous, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just,
We were always the house that all the kids came
We are too.
I hope to be.
And so when they leave, their friends leave too.
Yeah.
I fed those kids. I bathed those kids. I took those kids places. They were my kids too.
Yeah.
And they're gone too.
Seen them all grown up.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
most of them have kids. They're married. They're grown, and they're gone. Now my kids are at my house all the time,
Yeah.
but it's not the same.
Lonelier.
It is, and it's a good thing. You know, I love that I have a grandson. I love this stage of my life, but my baby's gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's hard.
And it's still fairly fresh for you too.
Yes.
So I think that there's a lot of pain in your description of like what it's
Yes.
like now.
Because
But I
it's-
think that you will find a little bit of peace in it too, as you get deeper into it and you get to watch her grow into
Yeah.
an adult and y'all transition into this new relationship.
I agree.
You know?
All I ever wanted to be was a mama. I had 5 miscarriages, and the doctor said I would never have a child. And I have
3 now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I failed Jessalyn and Hannah a lot. Got a lot of mom guilt, and
You did not fail them.
You
You
said the
may
right.
have made mistakes. You may have made decisions that you wouldn't make now, knowing what you know.
Yeah.
But you did not fail them.
Yeah.
Because someone who fails their children never thinks twice about whether or not they've done anything to cause harm to their kids.
And those babies wouldn't be coming to your house. Still.
No, absolutely
People
not.
who fail their kids don't want to talk.
They
to
don't
them.
want to be around them. They don't pick
Y'all
up
see
the
how much
phone
my
and
kids
call.
call me?
I'm telling you what, she's called her 30 times.
That's what
if your
I'm saying.
husband cries over here one more time, I'm going to start sobbing.
crying?
He's
God
cried
love him.
twice, y'all. I'm literally going to start
You
crying.
did not fail those babies.
I mean, it's hard. Our life has been hard, and what y'all see now is not our
It's the
life.
good.
But you said it.
You
What,
know, last night, let me just tell you this. I meant to tell you last night, but I was so, last night we ain't never even been to a fancy place like that to eat, and it was so fantastic, and I just cried going back to the room, and I said, how can this even be our life? I sat in my house, in my Walmart moo-moos, and watched them famous people.
No,
We're
And
not
now I
famous.
see- but that's how I feel. And now people feel that way about me.
yes.
You that's a feeling that is undescribable.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
It's something to
You're
be
like,
grateful
people really
for.
like me. Like, it is
Yeah.
emotional. It
When
does
you've
make you feel that way.
spent your
These
whole
people
life.
love me.
Yes.
Yeah.
They would do
And we love
anything.
them. We love y'all for loving her.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you've spent your whole life feeling like you're unworthy of
Yes.
love and this many
Yes.
people love
Yes.
you, it can
Yes.
be
Yes.
just
Yes.
so
Overwhelming.
overwhelming. And you also
Yes.
feel this great responsibility to not let them down.
Yes.
But I want to remind you that you're a human. And
Yes.
even today, with everything that you've learned and all the good that you are, you're going to make mistakes. And it's
right.
okay because you're self aware enough to know that those are mistakes. You're not so oblivious to yourself and your ability to make the wrong choice that you just think everything I do from here on out is going to be perfect and I'm
No.
going to make the right decisions to everything. You're going to trip. You're going to sometimes fall.
Yes.
You're going to make the wrong decisions, but your ability to hold yourself accountable and apologize for whenever you have done something with pure intentions but still hurt somebody is what sets you apart from other people because you're aware. You're self-aware. And yes, your life may have been hard, but now you get to enjoy this part of it. And I know what you feel in the sense of somebody's going to take it away. Because I always feel like so undeserving and so unworthy. Like whenever good things happen to me,
Imposter syndrome.
Cyndi says this to me. When good things happen to me, it's almost like I don't celebrate them because I'm so certain it's about
Something's
to be
gonna
taken
happen.
away or something shitty is going to
Yes.
happen. Because I'm
Yes.
so used to standing up and getting to the top of the stairs and somebody at the top kicking me back
Yep.
down and something happening and it starting over again and again and again. It feels like you're just constantly climbing. But eventually, you and I both, maybe we'll do this together, we have to get to the top of the stairs and look around at everything that we've accomplished. And even if we get kicked down a couple steps, there's a view at those steps too that we need to stop and look at and figure out as we get it all worked out through adulthood. Because I'm 32 and I don't know everything and I don't think I will at 62. So I think the difference is being able to be somebody who knows that they're going to learn for the rest of their life. And I think you're doing a damn good job. And you're
Thanks.
beating yourself up.
Yeah,
And
you
I
do.
can see it, that you've been beating yourself up. And it's probably because you feel like, I don't deserve this big platform and all these people that love me and all the things that I've done. Y'all are going to find out and you're going to hate me. They already know, Jessica. They know. And that's what makes you relatable because they're just like you.
Yep.
They live life and make mistakes and do stupid shit just like all of us. And it's the people who don't think they're better than other people just because they've made mistakes that are worth having around.
Yeah.
And you're
who
one of those
own it.
people.
You are.
Yeah.
And if who owns it? Like, people who are like, well, you're fat. Yeah. I know I'm fat.
Tell me something I don't know.
Like, you're not telling me something new.
Right.
Like, wow, you were shitty. Yeah, I was. Like, but you're not that anymore.
No.
Right.
You know?
You're not defined by that. I don't want to hear you call yourself trash.
Yeah, no
anymore.
more of that.
I'll be up in the comment
No more
section
trash talk.
cussing. Jay is walking in here with a box because
Yes,
Jay's
guys.
segment is about to start, and he said we're gonna have to feel things in this box, and guess what it is?
Oh.
We're going to
So,
lighten the mood here.
I hope you're ready for a little bit of
Touch
fun.
and
We're gonna
feel
wipe
box.
some tears and reset,
Yes.
and we'll be right
Thank
back.
you for sharing those things with us.
You're welcome.
Y'all, Jay's gonna do some sort
Hi guys. Okay, guys, we created this box, and I thought it would be something fun and exciting to do. Now, Paige is gonna.
I'm sweating.
Paige is first. Paige is first.
Yes, Paige is first, and she's gonna have 2 different things. So each girl will have 2 different
The
things.
box is moving.
To try, guys. Now, Paige is the only one that got something living, and she's gonna have to reach her hands in here and touch it. So, guys, just really quick, if you're listening on Apple
Come
or
on, Jessica.
Spotify,
You don't get
just
your butt
make
over
sure that you head to YouTube, because on YouTube you'll be able to see our face reactions and everything. So, yeah, head on over to YouTube.
Yeah,
Stay on Apple or Spotify, and then go to YouTube and check it out. But, guys, so Jessica is here as well.
Yes.
And each girl is gonna have 2 different things that they're gonna touchy-feely and kind of see. So we'll be excited to see the reactions. But
Paige is first.
Paige,
It's so cute. And don't worry, you guys. Ben has a farm, so he's gonna take this home with him after.
Exactly.
So don't worry. Okay, Miss
no
Paige.
animals will be hurt.
Nobody will hurt in the honor of this.
too excited. I'm sweating.
Paige,
I don't think I
throw this
can do
here.
this.
You can do it.
Okay.
It won't hurt you, okay?
Stop.
I promise.
It's not-
I don't think you can do this. What are we touching?
Okay.
Hey,
Ready?
it's not gonna
Is
hurt
it
you.
gonna bite me?
No, it doesn't bite. It doesn't do any of that. Okay.
Crying
Just
right
put your
now with
hands
her.
in. It's on the
really
bottom of
sweet,
the
okay?
box.
I wouldn't let
Yes.
nothing hurt you.
No, we would never hurt you.
I don't have a phobia.
I promise you, I would never let nothing hurt you.
Okay.
Why did we decide to do this? Who decided? Who said?
You can do it. You got it.
Which way do I
Ready?
go in?
Either one.
The right or the left?
It's on you.
Stop guiding me.
Come this way.
Stop making me.
Okay.
I promise we
Put
won't
your
let
hands
nothing
in.
Its head is on that side, so go. You don't have to right there. You're totally good.
Yeah. And it's on the bottom of the box in the middle.
throw
hurt you. It wouldn't hurt you. I
No, we
promise.
never hurt you. Gotcha.
Hey, it's also like a little baby, so like.
Yes.
Yes.
What could you buy?
No, just touch it.
I'm thinking about like what could be at a pet store. And I feel like it's a rat or something.
They would have ran out of there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's shaking.
Is it a lizard? Because I
You
also
want me
really
to
don't
go
like
first so
lizards.
you can show you?
Trust me. 1, 2, 3. Go down. Go down. Put your head down.
I don't wanna.
Come on. Go, go, go. Put it down. To the right.
Be right there.
And
No,
there
put
you
it
go.
down.
Touch. Low, low,
A little
low.
more.
You're about to touch.
Oh my god, I'm not. I can't. Oh, it's a lizard. It's a lizard.
It's not moving. He likes
Give it a
you.
stroke.
Yeah.
Is it gonna bite me?
It doesn't bite. It doesn't bite. The head is on the other side.
I'm
You're grabbing
jerking
its
this
booty.
box around. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry, little thing. I'm so sorry. I'm
His
afraid of you.
eyeballs are just like
Go down a little bit. You're freaking them out.
Here, let me.
Oh my
I'm gonna
fuck.
guide you.
You're right there.
right there. Right there.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I think
I'll
we're good.
pick it up.
Let's pick it up.
What the
Close
fuck
your
is
eyes.
that?
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes, okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3.
In fact.
Oh my goodness.
Assholes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Gosh, that was so good.
Okay, who's next?
Felt like a lizard.
Okay, let Cindy go. Hold on.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, that's funny.
Okay. Now this is in a bowl.
I'm so happy to be on the other side.
You're gonna
of
get
this.
different textures. Okay?
Gosh.
Different textures, huh?
Yes. There you go.
Stop laughing! It is intimidating
I like being on this
when you're on this side.
Okay. You're touching the bowl.
Oh no.
What is it?
I kind of like it. It's nice and slimy.
Oh.
It's
What do you think it is?
Taste
Oh,
it.
lick your finger. Touch it and lick it.
Here. Can you feel it? Feel the texture. What would be texture?
Ah, it's a cranberry sauce.
We'll see you for Thanksgiving, guys. Put it in the freezer. Okay.
All right.
Glamaw's turn.
It's Jessica's turn.
Okay.
Not looking.
Okay.
You brought a second live thing.
Now you gotta be careful with this because it might vibrate as you touch it.
Really?
Okay? If it was anything, it would be new. Just so you know. It wouldn't be from Kyler's home collection. Okay.
Ready?
You can put both hands if you want, or grab it. Well, it's a one-hander.
That's what she said.
Oh. What does the texture feel like?
What is that?
Oh my Lord!
Is that what I think?
What do you think?
What do you think it is?
Can I look at it already?
What do you think it is?
What do you think it is?
She did say a vibrator.
No, she specifically said.
Pull it out. You can take it home as a gift.
Which one is this?
This is body wash. It's a body wash, guys. I need to take this home. This is mine and Kyla's body wash.
Body wash?
Yeah.
But I thought that y'all would think something
We did.
different. Okay. Okay.
I love this. I love when it's my turn. No, that last one was the texture of a lizard. And then
Yeah.
y'all were like, oh, its head's over
Oh
here.
my god.
Okay, be careful.
Paige gets the best ones.
I
What
know.
the fuck? What's wrong with y'all?
Just be careful.
I
Put your
just want to
hands
have
in
fun.
and sit in there.
I just want to have fun.
This one's fun.
How come I don't get any descriptions?
Go on this side. This head's over here.
Jesus fuck.
Put your hands in both. There you go.
What the fuck is this? A
It's
can
just,
opener?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you like the scissor
I'll be in the
movement.
kitchen.
This would be perfect for Paige. Like scissors. Oh.
Jay. Oh my
Okay.
god. All right, Cindy.
Ready?
I'm ready. Try another food one.
Please be careful. This is very important.
Oh, okay.
Lots of texture.
Oh.
That's just the sound bit. It's the whole episode.
Aw, this is a teddy bear.
Yes.
At first touch is weird.
It was my baby king's.
Sweat.
Okay.
Okay, look. Yes, I'm sweating.
Yeah, it makes you start sweating.
Alrighty.
Do you got me another crazy one?
And it's new, just so you know. Alrighty. Ready to go in? You can do both arms if you want.
You know I got this.
Shake it around, wiggle if you want.
The way she's searching your eyes for any sort of answer.
She's like, help me out here.
What do you think?
No.
Does it feel bad? Shake it.
Slap it.
Slap it on there.
I don't know.
No inkling when you went. Whoosh.
A belt?
Oh!
Similar.
Jen needs us.
I want to borrow that.
It is brand new, so you can take it home.
Oh my god. This was so fun.
Guys,
It was amazing. We should do it every time.
next time I think I am going to bring a live animal because,
We needed those laughs after this
yes,
episode.
that broke up the energy because
Yes.
y'all talked about some great things, and I'm proud of you.
Yes.
No one hasn't told you in a long time. So,
Alrighty.
Cool.
alrighty, bye guys.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
I
that
love my
was-
friends. Aren't they so fun?
I wouldn't let nothing hurt her. I was serious.
To be fair, this feels like a lizard. I was certain that this was a lizard and that they were gaslighting me, especially whenever he was like, "Oh, his eyes are looking over here."
Yeah, he has hyped this up the whole time. Like he got here, he says, "I have a live animal."
No, he literally. I picked him up this morning and he was like, "Please drive safe because I have this live animal
He
in the
has
car."
had this going the whole time.
I'm sweating.
Thank you, Daddy
I'm
J.
physically
That
sweating.
was amazing. Paige had a flight or flight? What?
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight moment.
I've not recovered.
I can talk.
My back is sweating. I'm not fully recovered right now. Jessica, let's talk about you.
Yeah, let's go back to Jessica.
Oh, gee.
So, something really cool is you have a cookbook, right?
Yes. I have a cookbook.
I thought that was so cool. I was like,
Did you love making it?
Yes.
was it hard?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us what's in it.
Lots of Southern food. The foods I grew up eating and cooking. And I thought it would be, people's not going to want my cookbook. I just cook normal, because
Normal
it's just
for
our
Alabama.
normal food.
Yeah.
But I cannot believe the people who I've helped to make homemade biscuits.
Oh my.
And the messages that I get of people cooking food that I would just consider normal food is just amazing.
No,
Teaching people.
in other states, it's just Southern food. We're having a Southern night.
Yeah.
Right? It probably is. Like they have
Yeah.
a whole theme of, we're going to eat
Yeah,
like
fried chicken,
Southern.
biscuits, Because other than that, you just, I don't know, regular meals. Like for me, I don't make Southern food all of the time either. But for you, it's a normal.
I guess.
Yes, normal.
Yeah, I do, I guess. I'm more of a, because I don't really know how to cook
I don't
anything
either.
else.
I don't either. All I know how
You
to
cook what you know.
Casseroles and such. Yeah.
Oh, there's some recipes in that I'm like, I cannot wait to try because I don't know how to bake them.
I love casserole. I
Me
love
too.
a casserole.
Me too. What is that? Is that
Is
my
it
phone?
you? That's Paige.
Somebody is.
It ain't me.
What do you need, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
He's going to bring the cookbook in.
See, husbands.
What would you say your favorite recipe in the cookbook is?
A lot of them is my favorite, but Papa's Poppin' Steak.
Jay, you gotta go
Jay.
out there. We're still talking.
We are still recording. Jay just done ripped open a bag of chips back here.
Guys. Jay.
It's so sweet.
This is real. This is how it always
This is Jay for us. Oh, now we got a dog.
I said, you're not supposed to be here.
Where there's dogs.
There is. His name is Maverick. He's my best friend.
Oh.
Yeah, it is absolutely
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah, we got the cookbook
the
from the husband.
cookbook. How surreal does it feel to see your
my
face
God, let me
on
see
a
her
cookbook?
face, you guys. Go ahead, look at this.
Look at you smiling. I love that. I love that you've got your Bible that's very clearly yours.
Yes. So where's this at? You can buy it online.
It's in my link tree.
Okay.
My publishing company is Found, and I have the link in my link tree. I have my cookbook. I have a 2024 calendar. I have an apron. I have a journaling book. And
Oh my gosh. You get a sneak peek. Paige is giving them more. Fried green
doesn't
tomatoes?
matter.
Ma'am.
Oh,
Ma'am.
I
I'm gonna need
love
those. I'm
fried
gonna need
green
those.
tomatoes.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
Jalapeno.
That is so
I
cool.
never thought it would ever, that's my favorite too.
Which one?
The
Jalapeno poppers?
Oh,
we love
yes.
them.
I love jalapeno poppers.
That is so
They're
cool.
so good. But I never thought, it would never. But it did. It has changed our life.
Yes. So if y'all are interested in some Southern cooking, real Southern cooking.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a cookbook that's not overproduced, or you can tell like these are just things you like to make.
Yep, these are our favorite foods.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
You can get it on Amazon, you said?
No,
No.
I have a link in my link tree. Our publishing company is Found, so it's in my link tree as Cooking with Glammaw. That's because that's the name of it.
Who gave you the name Glammaw?
I did.
You did?
So when I was the ginger keeper, when my daughter was pregnant with our first grandchild, and I was the ginger keeper, she wanted my other daughter to video me when I found out what the baby was, so that she could see my reaction. And so she did, and I'm telling you, they fell in love with that video. And I was like, Mama, you need to put this on TikTok. You can make some money. And I was like, I ain't getting on no TikTok. I'm too old for that. I had never even watched a TikTok.
Right.
And, they put it on there. I didn't have a username or nothing. And within an hour, I had over 10,000 followers. And the next morning, I had like 50-something thousand followers.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was like, well, I ain't going to be called Grandma. I first put my name on there as Big Sexy. That's what people used to call me. So I was going to be Big Sexy, and I was like, oh, that don't really, I don't really need to be called Big Sexy.
If you see me in her comments from now on calling her Big
Sexy.
Sexy, you know why.
You're on
Well,
the inside now.
that's what a lot of people from our hometown called me. And so I was like, well, I don't want to be Grandma. I'm not old enough to be a grandma. And I was like, I love makeup and dressing up. I said, I'm going to be Glammaw.
I love
so
it.
I put my name as Glammaw, and here
love
we
it.
are almost 2 years later, and
Glammaw and Paw.
I'm building a house
stuck.
with this book.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
incredible.
Your hard work's in there. Recipes you never thought anybody would be interested
Never.
in.
It has changed my life.
That's
God,
amazing.
and that's why I put my Bible there, because see, the world thinks that it's about a cookbook, and they think it's about food, but it's about sharing the love of God and that I've been redeemed from destruction, and that's why that's on my cookbook.
I love that.
So,
I love that so much.
There's something about you that's very contagious in your confidence in your religion. And oftentimes I'll look at creators like you that are so confident and want that for myself, because I have a lot of church trauma from whenever I was younger. And then as well as my family didn't go to church together. So like, not to get into specifics, but like whenever I would go home, I would get asked, like, did you talk to God today? Did he answer you? And it was almost like patronizing.
yes.
More than it was just like, I'm so proud of you for being this 11-year-old girl that wants to have a relationship with God. Whenever I would get grounded, I'd get grounded from Vacation Bible School, like things like that. So I had a very hard relationship, and it's inspiring to see somebody who is so confident in their religion and their relationship with God. You inspire me to dive deeper into that. So you sharing that side of you is doing work. And I think one thing I've noticed a lot in the last few months, or that I even said to Mark last night, I said, a lot of the people that I see that are very successful credit their success to God. To, I'm just doing what I feel like he has told me I'm supposed to do. And then you watch them, receive all these blessings. And I thought to myself, I could do that. Maybe I'm just not listening to what my purpose was. Maybe I'm so focused on trying to find it myself that I'm not listening to him tell me what it is. So I think you're inspiring more than you realize.
It is. I agree.
Well, what I've learned in my life, I'm 44 years old, and what I've learned is I made a mess of my life. And when Michael got sick with cancer and he almost died, that is the night that I gave my life to God. When I found out that he had cancer, we had 2 small kids, and he was dying, and he was all I've ever had. He is the one constant thing my husband is in my life that's never ran out and left me. And I was losing him, and he didn't even know he was dying.
He's going to start crying again, and we're all going to be crying
He was out
in
of
here.
the world, and he didn't even know he had cancer. For 3 days, he didn't even know he had it because they had him so out. But I knew, and I had nobody, because at that time, we were on drugs. None of our drug friends, the ones that hadn't died were in prison, and the ones that wasn't in prison, they didn't come to the hospital, nobody. And I was alone.
Yeah.
And I had no family there. My sister was at home with my kids, and it was a very hard time in our life. And it was that night I hit my knees and I cried out to God, and I said, God, please help me. I've made a mess. Please save my husband. And I know you're not supposed to bargain with God. And I said, but if you'll save my husband, I'll never do drugs again. And that was in November of 2007. And I ain't never touched another drug. And as long as he'll be my helper, I won't never. But if he withdraws his breath from me and he don't help me, I would, because in myself, that's who I am. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm changed because I've been redeemed from destruction.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. You literally brought me chills just now. Oh,
And
my
that's
goodness.
another thing that's so special about that little house that we bought an old farmhouse, and it had to have a lot more than we realized that it had to have, and it's taken a little longer. But we lost our home when he was sick. We lost everything we owned, down to the washer and dryer that we had. We lost everything. But that's when we found ourselves. That is when our lives changed.
Yeah.
And everything ain't been good. It's actually been really hard, And there was months that we lived, we didn't even have, well, I know for a fact there was a week we didn't even have running water, and we had 2 small kids. We had to dip water out of the green swimming pool to flush the toilets. And so it's been really hard, but I wouldn't trade, not one day, because all of those days is what has made us who we are now.
right.
Yep,
And people say, well, what would happen if something happened to TikTok? Well, there ain't nothing going to happen to God. And he's the one that gives me everything I got right now. And if TikTok's gone, if Michael's job is gone, it's the same thing. A job is a job. I don't depend on them. I depend on God, and He'll open another door to lead me exactly where I need to be. And that's exactly why this house has taken us so long, because I done lost one house that we was trying to pay for, because that's what people need to do. And if you're paying for a home, that's fine. But I don't never want to live to where I got to worry about my house being repossessed, foreclosed on, or whatever. So we're doing this as we get the money.
Yeah.
We save up a little bit, we do something. We save up a little bit, and we do something. And we'll have our house again.
That's right.
Yeah.
One day, if it's meant for us to have it. If it ain't, we'll go on, and somebody else will have it, and it'll be okay. I am satisfied living right in my 1996 double wide trailer as I have ever. I'm as happy as I could be. And I wouldn't even be doing this house if it wasn't for him. It's always been his dream to build a house. That's his, not mine. I'm fine right where I'm at.
Oh, you're so inspirational. Thank you.
Her husband's crying again, y'all. I can't take
Y'all, he's the best thing.
the actual love in this room right now. He's just like staring at her, like, oh my God,
she's
I
just
love you
speaking
so
their
much.
truth.
She's just talking.
Their truth. And
If
y'all are just-
anybody denies that y'all are in love, like, come talk to me.
He is the best thing that, past God, the best thing that has ever happened to me. He is, and it ain't always been that way.
Right.
We went through a long, hard patch, but we worked it out. That's what marriage is. You don't just take off running when things get hard.
Yeah.
Right.
You stand up and you deal with it and you work through it. And I mean, I know that don't happen for everybody, and I know there's sometimes that it's not workable through. And in those situations, you have to do what you have to do. But in our relationship, we have thankfully been able to work through everything that the devil has tried to throw at us to put us apart. And I'm thankful for it because I love him.
Oh, I love it.
All right, well, we're going to leave the room now.
She's going to bring that wet back out real quick.
Hey, we're on our first vacation we've ever had alone. 10 hours away from home. And I'd love to say where nobody knows us, but everywhere we go, somebody knows us.
Hey, I just had somebody that I used to work with that commented and tagged me and was like, oh my God, I used to work with Mark and Paige. I didn't know that's why you were in Texas on your video. I thought it was really
love it.
cute. Super, super cute. I love whenever the worlds
They
blend
do.
together.
They do. They
And
always end up.
They always end up
Yeah.
somehow. The world is much smaller than you think.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned as an adult.
It is.
Oh, did y'all have fun today?
Yes.
We're so grateful
I've
you came.
absolutely loved it.
You feel good?
Yes.
Thank you for coming all the way to Texas
Thank
for
y'all
us.
for having me.
All the
when
way
y'all
from
asked me, I
Alabama.
cried like a baby for weeks.
Aw.
That was so fun.
Well, now we're friends now. So
And now we get to go to Vegas together.
we
Yeah. She is nominated for a Cheer Choice Award. So
in the same category with Daddy J.
Yes.
yeah.
So that's
we'll
going to
see
be
you
fun.
then.
It's going to be amazing.
It is going to be really
Yeah,
fun.
we're gonna have fun. Last time I went, Paula Abdul kissed me on the cheek.
So what's going to happen this year?
Oh my God, it's gonna get crazy. Gonna get crazy.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, thank y'all for having me.
Of course,
I
of course. It
love
was a
this so
pleasure.
much.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Same old for us, huh?
Got me crying. Got him crying.
Got me scared. I'm crying from anxiety. That's pretty typical.
Well, this was really fun. We thank you
Super
guys.
fun. Thanks for making the trip.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
And as always, we drop every Tuesday. Please follow us on all platforms.
YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Google, I think even.
Go watch that YouTube right now. It was
Oh my
hilarious. All right, guys. Until next time, keep those giggles going.
And the love flowing.
And as always, Mom knows best.
or at least she's trying her best.
She's
We know
trying
that's
her best.
right. Bye, guys.